When you stroll through a supermarket, the colorful produce seems effortless. But behind every apple and strawberry is a tiny, tireless worker, the bee. Bees are more than honey makers or stingers. They're essential partners to farmers, making our diets richer and more nutritious. These small creatures are the unsung heroes of agriculture, working from dawn to dusk in a way no machine can match. As nature's most efficient pollinators, bees are fundamental to the life cycle of many plants. A farmer can plant and water, but many crops need a visitor, a bee, to turn flowers into food. The buzzing in a field is the sound of nature producing our meals. Imagine a vast apple orchard. Every blossom needs a bee to become fruit. Bees, following their instincts, connect flower to flower, enabling the food that sustains us. Their partnership with flowers is one of nature's most beautiful collaborations. Bees support not only the crops we eat, but also the plants that feed our livestock. The web of life is held together by many threads, and bees weave one of the strongest. Understanding their role is the first step to appreciating their value and why we must protect them. They're not just wild insects. They're our partners in growing a healthy world. Their quiet, diligent work makes our lives possible. A bee's day begins with a mission. Find food. Nectar and pollen are their targets, and bees are expert foragers. Bees see ultraviolet light, revealing secret patterns on petals that guide them to nectar. They're drawn to blue, purple, and yellow. Fields of lavender and sunflowers buzz with activity. When a bee finds a rich patch, it returns to the hive and performs a waggle dance, mapping the way for others. Their antennae detect faint floral scents, each flower offering a unique perfume. For bees, the air is a map of smells, leading them to the best blooms, even hidden ones. They learn which flowers offer the best rewards, honing their search. Once a bee locates a flower, it lands gently, its fuzzy body ready for work. The bee isn't thinking about pollination, it's simply gathering food for its colony. Driven by instinct, the bee's quest for food sets in motion a process vital for plants, farms, and us. Every foraging trip is a treasure hunt, guided by nature's clues. The simple act of a bee following a scent or a color is the start of something much bigger. Their efficiency ensures the survival of both their hive and our food supply. The journey for nectar is the first step in a chain that feeds the world. Once a bee lands on a flower, it gets to work collecting nectar with its long straw-like proboscis. The nectar is stored in a special honey stomach, ready to be turned into honey back at the hive. As the bee sips nectar, its hairy body brushes against the flower's anthers, picking up pollen. Pollen is vital for bees too. It's packed with protein for feeding young bees. The bee uses its legs to comb pollen into baskets on its hind legs, forming bright yellow or orange parcels. With nectar in its honey stomach and pollen packed tight, the bee is ready to return home. A single trip can mean hundreds of flower visits, each one efficient and purposeful. The bee's body is perfectly evolved for this dual task, collecting food and unknowingly carrying pollen. In its quest for resources, the bee becomes a vehicle for plant reproduction. Every trip is a marvel of efficiency, honed by millions of years of evolution. The bee's journey is about survival, but its impact is far greater. Each foraging run helps ensure the next generation of plants. The bee's simple routine is the engine of our food system. The magic happens when a pollen-dusted bee visits another flower of the same species. As it sips nectar, some pollen rubs off onto the new flower's stigma, kickstarting cross-pollination. The bee isn't aware it's matchmaking for plants. It's just moving from meal to meal. Yet, this accidental transfer is vital. Many plants need pollen from another plant to produce seeds and fruit. Bees are perfect messengers, often sticking to one flower type per trip. Think of the bee as a tiny delivery service, moving pollen from one address to another. Without pollinators, many plants couldn't reproduce. The bee's fuzzy body and even static electricity help pollen stick and transfer. This ancient partnership, bee and flower, has shaped our landscapes and food supply for millions of years. A simple, accidental process with profound consequences for our planet. Once pollen reaches a flower's stigma, the real magic begins. The pollen grain grows a tube down to the ovary, where it fertilizes an ovule. This fertilized ovule becomes a seed, and the flower's ovary swells into fruit. The petals fall away, and the plant's energy shifts to growing the fruit. Every apple, peach, or melon is the result of this process. Strawberries are unique. Each seed on the outside is a separate fruit, each needing its own pollination. Poor pollination means small, misshapen fruit, or none at all. When you bite into fruit, you're tasting the result of a successful bee-plant partnership. The fruit protects seeds and helps them spread, often by being eaten by animals. This intricate process starts with a bee's simple visit. Pollination is the spark that brings our favorite foods to life. Bees don't just help plants make fruit, they help them make more and better fruit. For farmers, healthy bee populations mean higher yields and better income. In some crops, bee pollination can boost harvests by up to 70%. Almonds, for example, are entirely dependent on bees. No bees, no almonds. Beekeepers move millions of hives to orchards each year to ensure pollination. For berries, bee pollination means bigger, tastier, longer-lasting fruit. A single honeybee colony can visit millions of flowers in a day, ensuring maximum pollination. Without bees, blossoms fall off without producing anything. Bees turn flowers into profit, not just for fruit, but for crops like canola and alfalfa too. Better pollination means better feed for livestock, more milk, and more food overall. The ripple effect of bees touches every part of agriculture. They are a pillar of modern farming's productivity. Think of your favorite foods: watermelon cherries, pumpkin pie salads. About a third of what we eat relies on animal pollinators, and bees are the most important. Without bees, our diets would be less colorful, less nutritious, and far less interesting. Apples, pears, berries, cucumbers, squash melons all depend on bees. Even crops like carrots, onions need bees to produce seeds for future harvests. Almonds, macadamias, coffee, chocolate all benefit from bee pollination. Without bees, these foods would become rare and expensive. Imagine a meal without bee-pollinated ingredients, just wheat, rice, corn. Our plates would be bland, and our health would suffer. We rely on a free service from nature, but bee populations are under threat. The variety on our shelves and in our meals depends on healthy bee populations. Every fruit salad, apple pie is a gift from bees. What if all the bees disappeared? Our food supply would be hit first. Fields and orchards would fall silent, blossoms withering without fruit. Supermarket shelves would empty of colorful produce. Many foods would become rare luxuries. The economic fallout would be massive, billions lost, food prices soaring, and malnutrition rising. Hand pollination is too costly and impractical for most crops. Bees are keystone species, supporting wild plants and the animals that depend on them. Without bees, wildflower meadows would vanish, and food webs would unravel. The loss would ripple through ecosystems, leading to a collapse in biodiversity. A world without bees would be duller, hungrier, and less vibrant. The taste of honey, the joy of fresh fruit, gone. This isn't science fiction, it's a real risk if we don't act. The decline in bees is a warning. Our relationship with nature is out of balance. The silence of the fields would be a stark reminder of what we've lost. Protecting bees means protecting our future. The good news? It's not too late to help bees. Everyone can take simple steps, whether you live in the city or countryside. Plant bee-friendly flowers that bloom from spring to autumn. Native plants are best. Avoid pesticides and herbicides. They harm bees and destroy their food sources. Let part of your garden grow wild to create bee habitat. Build or buy a bee hotel. Many wild bees nest in hollow stems or wood. Provide water with a shallow dish and pebbles for bees to land on. Support local, organic farmers and buy local honey. Learn about bees and share their story with others. Every small act adds up. By working together, we can keep the gentle buzz of bees alive. Our fields, plates, and future generations depend on it.